welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a really fascinating journey right into the heart of Central Asia. We're looking at the Republic of Tuva, specifically through Michael Klein's book, My Adventures in Tuva, and also his YouTube channel stuff, Adventures in Tuva.
Exactly. We've got these excerpts from Michael's book, and they really detail his 3 trips there. Pretty transformative, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And we also have transcripts from several YouTube videos he made, which, add that visual layer. Helps paint the picture.
Right. And you, our listener, you've let us know you like getting, straight to the good stuff on these subjects. So our mission today is pretty clear. We want to understand what really drew Michael Klein to Tuva, this remote place. What kicked off this deep connection? What did he actually experience? And, well, why did it hit him so hard?
Yeah. What was the impact?
Exactly. So let's dive right in. What started this Tuvan obsession?
Well, Michael talks about it starting back in 1999, and it was a really tough time for him. He was in recovery from addiction.
Okay.
And that's when he first heard it, this really captivating Tuvan music.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. The book isn't just like, I went here, I saw this. It's framed as a chronicle of how this music became a positive focus. He even says it probably saved his life.
Wow.
That's a huge statement, right?
Yeah.
What do you think it was about that music specifically that had such a pull during that specific difficult time?
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it, how something external like music can become this powerful internal catalyst.
Yeah.
The book points to his first encounter with Tuvan throat singing kume, they call it, where one singer makes multiple notes at once.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, mind-blowing. And he also talks about encountering these legendary Tuvan musicians, names like Alash, Hunhertu.
Oh, yeah, Hunhertu, right. Giants in world music.
Exactly, Hunhertu and Churgulchin, too. These aren't just local bands, they're internationally known.
So it wasn't just a passing phase. No. This music really, got under his skin. Became a driving force almost.
It seems like it. The music itself was pulling him somewhere new.
And the book's journey, as you said, it maps this path from deep personal struggle to exploring this totally different culture.
Precisely. And it wasn't just listening to CDs or whatever. This curiosity made him actually go there, to Tuva, the center of Asia, as it's sometimes called.
Right.
And not just once. He went back 3 times. Significant trips.
So the book kind of works on 2 levels then. It's his story, obviously, but it's also maybe a bit of an inspiration or even a guide for someone else interested in Tuva or just interested in, following a passion.
Yeah, I think so. It suggests his own journey, the ups and downs, might offer something valuable for others, too. And it's interesting, in one of his videos, Michael mentions that Tuva, when he first went, it wasn't exactly set up for tourists.
Right. Yes, that's not tourist-friendly.
Yeah, not initially. Though he did notice things changing a bit on his later trips. What do you think that early experience, that lack of tourist infrastructure, might have meant for him?
Well, it suggests maybe a more authentic experience. Perhaps tougher, sure, but maybe more rewarding in the end.
Less curated.
Exactly. Less curated, more raw. And to help us see that, he actually made this free video guide on his YouTube channel, Adventures in Tuva.
Right, the visual companion.
Yeah, so you can actually see the people, the places, the culture he's writing about.
Yeah.
Brings it to life.
And speaking of the culture, one of those videos, we have the transcript. It shows a fire ceremony. This was at Alden Bulak in 2018.
Okay.
And what's really striking is it wasn't just Tuvans there. The video shows locals and people from other countries all participating together.
A fire ceremony. That makes you think immediately about the spiritual side of things there. I think the book mentions shamanism, Buddhism, too.
Yes, the fire ceremony is often deeply connected to shamanistic traditions in Tuva. It's usually about purification, asking for blessings, connecting with, nature spirits, and the fact that you had locals and foreigners there together. Well, that points to a really interesting cultural meeting point, doesn't it? Maybe an openness.
Yeah, definitely. The transcript for that video also has a kind of a sad note, though.
Yeah.
Michael mentions 2 amazing Komeiji throat singers who were there, Nachin Shodu and Andre Ope.
Oh, wow.
And he notes they've both passed away since he filmed it.
Ah, that really adds a layer, doesn't it? It makes you think about how fleeting these things can be and how important it is to capture these moments.
Yeah.
And it shows Michael was really connecting with, significant people in the Tuvan music world.
He also throws in a little warning in one video. Says traveling in Tuva is not for the meek.
Huh. Okay.
It hints that, yeah, it wasn't all smooth sailing. What sort of difficulties do you reckon he faced?
Well, given how remote it is and, like he said, not really geared for tourists back then, you could imagine travel logistics being tricky, language barriers maybe,
Sure.
just adjusting to different customs. But overcoming that kind of stuff probably leads to a much deeper immersion, right? A bigger personal impact.
It wasn't just about watching from the sidelines, though.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Michael really tried to connect with people. He talks about making friends with Tuvan bands when they were touring outside Tuva.
Right. That must have been an amazing way in, a really intimate look at the culture.
Yeah, definitely beyond the average tourist, though.
Absolutely. It shows he was genuinely curious, willing to put in the effort to understand things from their perspective.
And for anyone listening who might be thinking, wow, Tuva sounds incredible, he actually points them towards a resource, a Facebook group called Tuvan Music.
Oh, interesting.
He says it's big, really helpful, lots of people there who've actually been to Tuva. It sounds like a good place for practical tips.
That's great. It shows there's this ongoing active interest, and people are willing to share their experiences. Speaks volumes about Tuva's appeal.
And he even goes one step further in a video.
Yeah.
He basically invites readers who are planning a trip to message him directly with questions.
Really? That's quite something.
Yeah, it really shows his passion, doesn't it? Wanting to help others connect with this place.
That's definitely more than just being an author. He's almost like a mentor, wanting to share what he learned.
It's funny, in his intro video, he even apologizes in advance if he missed mentioning anyone in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he met so many people. It's a small thing, but it kind of hints at just how many connections he made, how rich those trips must have been.
That's a lovely detail. It really suggests he wasn't just skimming the surface. He got properly involved, even if just for those periods.
We also get a little insight into, his life now and why he wrote the book when he did. He says he was living in Barcelona, in Spain, while he was writing it, reflecting back on those Tuva trips.
Ah, okay. Maybe that distance gave him some perspective.
Could be. Looking back from afar sometimes lets you see things more clearly, maybe process their importance.
Distance often does that, yeah. Allows for more reflection.
And just to really highlight how much things changed for him, how transformative Tuva was, he briefly mentions his other book.
Oh, what's that?
It's called New York City Junkie Days. And he describes it as, well, a pretty stark look at heroin addiction in the 80s and 90s.
Wow, okay. So the contrast.
Exactly. The contrast between that book and My Adventures in Tuva is just massive.
It really puts into perspective how finding Tuvan music and culture was this huge turning point for him.
Yeah.
A path to something completely different, healing maybe. It's a powerful story of how something unexpected can just reshape your life.
Totally. And ultimately, he says in one video he poured his heart and soul into the Tuva book. He really hopes people connect with it.
You can feel that, can you? Through the excerpts and the video transcripts, you get this real sense of passion. He genuinely wants to share this amazing story.
So wrapping up this deep dive, it's clear My Adventures in Tuva is way more than just a travel book.
Definitely.
It's this compelling story about personal change, sparked by finding this unique culture and its incredible music. Hopefully, you, our listener, have got a good, quick sense of Michael Klein's journey, why Tuva is so captivating, and, some glimpses into his culture.
Absolutely. We've seen how just stumbling upon an art form can lead to, well, massive personal growth and this really deep bond with a place and its people. The book and the videos together, they offer a really rich way to experience his adventures.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Something to mull over.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about Michael Klein's story, what parts of a culture or an art form that seem totally unfamiliar to you right now might actually hold some unexpected power, some potential to, reshape things? Maybe there's a kind of Tuva waiting out there for each of us, just on the edge of our awareness.